Hello and welcome to Patito's Gang. The internet and social media contribute tremendously to our society. People around the world can share ideas, knowledge, and collaborate with each other real time. But what happens when social media goes wrong? Today, the gang discusses social media identity theft and how we can all protect ourselves online. Stay tuned.
So you wake up in the morning, if you're like me, and then you have 1,000 messages on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp, and the world has just become a very, very small place right now. Little wonder when a lot of people wondered if the statement that Marshall McLuhan made some time ago of technology, transcending borders, transcending distance, and just making all of us become a global village was really, really true. Now, today, on today's edition of Patito's Gang, we are talking about the issue of social media identity theft. Now, social media is very beautiful, but it's got a lot of its problems. And of course, Prof, I'm sure that as a very popular man, you must have had a lot of trouble.
First of all, there have been websites erected in my name, been used for 419. We have had many occasions where, in fact, about a year and a half ago, I actually stopped interacting on Twitter. I've not sent a tweet for more than 1 year.
Oh my God.
Because people were actually posting half of the things that have been said that I said were not said by me.
Oh my God.
You say what you said on Twitter, I said me. The last one, I was actually in Dubai when I got this major comment I said about president. I said, which means not even Nigeria, I didn't know something like that happened. Then I found out that somebody was sending out tweets in my name. But the worst one, the one that I find more offensive, is the one, the 419 thing. This Facebook site that just replicates my Facebook page and does all kinds of things. Even more frightening is the reaction of the system. About 3 years ago, just about every governor in this country, every speaker of the House had received a phone call ostensibly from me, asking for the numbers of other famous people.
How did that happen?
I don't know.
Because it wasn't your voice.
Well, they don't know my voice, many of them. So the person calls and says, this is Professor, blah, 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 which is the first signal. I never say I am Professor anything. If I call you, I'll say I'm Patu Tommy. Yeah. But the people say, oh, this is Professor, and people listen to them. But a few clever ones. Akpabio, as governor in Akwa Ibom, when the person called and said, oh, that it was me, I was trying to launch a book, but I was broke, and
oh my God.
that I needed.
Oh my God, that is bad.
So the person, Governor Akpabio, then said, okay, he was coming to Abuja, saying to me, so to speak, I should come and collect the thing from the Governor's Lodge in Abuja. Then the fellow quickly, no, that he's about to go to Lagos now, they should just pay it into one account.
Oh my God.
Of course, at that point, I probably smelled a rat and got his doctor to call me on the number that they had. I said, Mike, no, it's not me, I'm not launching any book.
But can you explain how that happened? But can you explain how that happened? Did it happen on Facebook, Messenger? How?
That one was a direct phone call, I believe. The same guy, using the same phone. I went as far, I reported this to everybody. I reported to SSS, I reported to every agency. In fact, using some personal contacts in the security services, they were even able to trace where their phone call was coming from, the neighborhood the phone call was coming from. But till today, the person is still doing that, using the same number. The number has 66 something in it. The number I've never had. The person went as far when they were doing this registration of actually registering a phone number with my name. Wow. My good old schoolmate who was IG, Boneo Novo, was telling me this story that they said they checked and they see number was registered in my name.
Wow.
Really? So this needs to be a major crackdown thing. And Amechi as governor managed also to see through them. They try to
Yeah,
reach
because
him.
I receive a lot of Facebook requests from Governor Amechi.
So he's a victim too.
I received Facebook. I've even received one from WF Kumuyi. In fact, that one came twice. So everything's one day I woke up and I saw Patience Jonathan sending me a friend request on Facebook.
That's the danger of social media, in as much as it's very good for our society. I know some people have left, that, and again, another one is the chat, Snapchat.
Oh, that is a big issue.
That Snapchat
Poses a lot of security risk.
I don't even know what that is.
But there are a lot of things you don't know about that's happening in this country you don't know about.
No. You see, the security agencies have to set up a crack force to deal with this. Punish a number of people because it's creating problems. I know one senator, and we were laughing about Amechi and Agbabio, who were able to either see through or find ways of cross-checking, reaching me. There's a senator who paid 1 million naira.
Oh my God.
He did an account, he was very upset when he found out eventually. He said, I'll go to GT Bank. The account was in GT Bank. And go, they must return my money. I don't even know if he managed to get it back. Look.
Bro, because one is that, don't forget there was 1 year that a young boy, a student, had to, hack into your email. I was involved in that.
You were involved, yes.
Yeah.
I see. So Hillary Clinton was not alone. She wasn't alone after all.
Yeah, this young boy hacked into this and began to
send messages.
Money was released to him. But when he went to collect the last 65,000,
oh my God,
he didn't know that we had sent a lot,
to
the bank, one of the banks, and when the boy got there, it was now
nabbed.
In
fact, it was as far as one bank in which I had an account. I was out of the country. I was on vacation.
That's
it was
right.
Summer.
You were not around.
And the bank, the official thought they were doing me a favor because I had asked for them to transfer money to another bank.
Yeah.
Several million naira, and they did. And the boy collected the whole thing, but was still so greedy.
Yeah.
But what I found incredible was when I then came back and protested, because when I got the message, somebody at Austin, some of you eventually saw through what was going on, and I was trying to get on my Facebook page. Was it Facebook or whatever it was? For email, yeah. I couldn't get on.
Yeah.
I couldn't get on. It was eventually I found out that somebody had hacked in and blocked me out and was having a field day. And so I reached the bank, and the bank had already paid money from my account. And the bank eventually decided they were going to pay me back, but they were unwilling, even after the guy was caught, to prosecute. I don't understand it.
And I think one of the issues people also need to be aware of, very careful on the links you click. Because we have several apps, you click on this link and this will happen and all the rest. And oftentimes when people do that, they get to release some very sensitive information about themselves just by clicking on those links.
Wow.
Because of the cookies that are available on your phones and all the rest, right?
Yeah.
Some very sensitive information could be true. Before you know, someone could hack into your mail and gain more access to very sensitive information. Because sometimes, especially these hackers have ways they link up to someone's direct information. If someone knows your full date of birth, which means you included the day, the month, and the year on Facebook, and the person also get your full name, and then you also get to the point of updating some through a certain link or clicking, and certainly you predispose yourself to those kind of wrong people.
So in as much as it's good, but how can we really manage the situation? Because it's a global thing. I don't think any country has been able to deal security-wise, this issue. I don't know.
But there's some companies that have become very successful in the fraud securities business. One of the companies that's now being used by most of the PayPals of this world and is a logic science company from Israel. Had all kinds of ways that they tracked potential abusers of the system.
That's right.
my feeling is that it is enough of a deterrent to, deterrent is the right word to use here, to good business practice, that we should invest in reducing it to the minimum. If people find that a great percentage of the mail or stuff that comes out of a country are fraudulent, then real serious business from that country will be affected. People won't take it seriously. People say, Nigeria, please, is fraud. So it's serious enough for us to invest heavily in our law enforcement to create a whole department for those kinds of things and to go after people, to get them, to deal with them decisively so that people will stop those things.
Okay, so we're talking about how the law enforcement agencies can get to curb the issue of social media identity theft. We're going to get right back after now.
The gang suggests that our governments should invest in an agency that would enforce policies to protect our personal and business interests online. What are your thoughts? Let's hear from you. Take it to the streets.
When the government is saying that way, it will be reduced. We don't want people that are just striving to get there.
Cybercrime is on the increase in the country. I as an individual, as a Nigerian, you know, if the government is really doing well to engage the youths, because most of the things that is happening on the social media, most of the things we see, almost 99% or 100% are the youth that are engaged on this cybercrime. So we have to engage the youths. If we engage the youth, divert their attention to where the government is supposed to work, I think they are not going to have time for such they will devote their time in those cybercrime. Definitely, the government need to start up and doing to work a lot of things for the future of this country, because the future of the country lies on the youth.
We've come to a point in time where everyone is acquainted with the internet and social media, and being that several persons, you know, have graduated from school and, you know, they don't have jobs out there. So the problem is, an idle man is devil's workshop. So since there's no job, the youths, they would rather want to like use what they can lay their hands on, you know, to achieve what they want. So the reason why we're having people, you know, involving themselves in a whole lot of internet crime is because there's no job out there. You know, in a situation whereby you graduate from school and there's no job, definitely you have to make a living. I'm not trying to justify it, but the government should step in. I mean, the youth should be involved, you know, in politics, in all affairs. I mean, in all ramifications, the youth should be involved. And when they're involved and they have a source of livelihood, so this whole thing can be cut down to the barest minimum.
We've been talking about your Facebook, your Instagram, your Twitter, and your WhatsApp. I mean, all of the issues that have got to do with social media identity theft. How much are you suffering from somebody else falsifying your identity on Facebook using your photo and all of that? And very quickly, a very popular situation comes to mind. It's the issue of a media personality, Ify George Anderson from Port Harcourt. She lives in Port Harcourt, and this lady's picture was taken off her Facebook page, and then a voice was concocted of a Jamaican talking total trash, and it was purported to have been from her. And this message went it went viral on social media. Now, people from Lagos, people from Abuja, I mean, people who are, you know, notable people across the country kept calling this lady, "What's happening with you?" Now, this is how bad it is. You know, I also have my own Facebook, you know, pictures of me on Facebook, you know, being opened with another account, the same Mary Chinda and all of that. You know, but how much are we all suffering?
And even this? A more shocking one, like you see, like Photoshop and all.
Oh my God! You know? that is a higher degree of impersonation.
Yeah.
Mary, why don't I ask you, what's your comment on the president's concern about social media?
The hate speech.
I think who is afraid of social media? Is it the president afraid of social media?
See, this is what I think. the social media are a tool for all of us to express our feelings. Now, while we're trying to be responsible with what we have to say, the government should not try to gag us. We have a right to express our feelings.
But people become vulnerable. Those things they're pregnable. People infiltrate you eventually anyway.
Yeah, definitely. In China, they're still infiltrating. So, and the government, again, like we often say, once you tell the people the truth, the nation is safe.
Sure.
So, is transparency in the side of government to let us know. Not that rodents and cockroaches prevented.
Let's not go
prevented the president from entering his office and all that.
Yeah.
So, the social media also is a whole lot of marketplace where you can use for positive things, like selling your wares, selling your products.
I was going to have us talk about the good side of social media, Prof. I'm a young lady and I'm a single.
Are you?
I'm a young lady. And as a media personality, social media, especially Instagram, which has a lot more credibility for me than Facebook. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter is just tools that you can use to sell yourself, sell your personality, sell what you do. I know a lot of brands that have consulted me via social media. I know a lot of brands that I've done business with just via social media. So social media is good for me. It's a wonderful place to be in. It's somewhere you can always seal businesses, but you have to also be very discerning. Say,
sure, of course, because in that same light also we've seen people even advertise things that are not true, right? And get to deceive the unsuspecting masses and all the rest. But more to that, I feel that any young person who is visionary, when you get to meet lots of young persons, they say they're into a thing, and you've not seen any of those things reflected on their timeline. Or sometimes that you see is someone will snap the food he's eating, and then it's come and join me, and people get to start liking. And I think one of the ones that I really consider are thoughtless. A situation where someone will come and post, I just lost my father, and you see people liking and all the rest. It really shows you that
liking the loss of a father.
I can't just understand that, you understand? But then, aside from that, any person that is visionary will find his social media a veritable platform to let your friends
I think why social media is trending so much, because we are in a conversation economy.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure.
People want to air their views, people want to be heard, people want to do stuff and all that. And even the other mainstream media also borrowing a leaf from there. In terms of when you listen to radio, people want to contribute something, and they also want. And one of the things, when in a conventional economy like this, people want to win things, awards. They want rewards. If you put a 1,000 naira recharge card and answer stupid question, for instance, you see a lot of people calling in just for 1,000 recharge.
It's just about the fun.
And Stephen R. Covey, the great guru of personal effectiveness, before he died, realized that his awesome book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, missed out something. And so he wrote a new book, The 8 Habits.
The 8 Habits, yes.
And it's about helping people find their voice. So it's the most important habit of the 21st century, is helping people find their voice. There are lots of people who feel that they're not there, they're not humans because their voices are lost. The biggest challenge society has is to help people find their voice.
Sure.
And what social media does very well is give voice to many more people. And that's the power of social media. Of course, everything that has strength has weaknesses. And that is being abused in the way some people use it. What you do everywhere is do good policing. Even in social media, you can have effective policing. Why does Facebook monitor and keep some things out? It's because policing is critical.
Censorship.
So they just need to do those kinds of things better and do it more.
And I think as we progress in the future, there will be a better use of social media.
How do you mean?
Yeah, in the sense that some of these trivial things, because people want to find their voice and all that. At a certain, because it's just because everybody is moving in and stuff. When we have a critical mass, people get used to it, and then they be more responsible in the way they use social media, and then exposing things that are not supposed to.
Yeah,
expose,
I also
you know?
think that one of the downsides of social media, especially Facebook and Instagram, is that sometimes it gives you, it helps your depression. It makes you look at makes you think that people.
There are people who are more depressed than you.
Yes. No. It makes you think that people are living a better life than you. Because you can see someone who's going through a divorce or who's going through a lot in his life or in her life, posting a photo and she's all smiling, she's all smiles, and you're in your room and you're thinking, God, I don't have money. Oh, God,
Well, in our
it's
time.
such a fake life. Sometimes we get to advertise on social media.
It goes with life. That's why you need to be mature. You know, in my time, when I was a grad student in the US in the 70s, the most depressing time of the highest suicides, Christmas time.
Yeah.
Because TV is showing wonderful families,
Oh,
everybody's happy.
yeah.
And you're in the house, you're alone.
Yeah.
You see, oh, the world is there. And you pop some pills.
Don't remind me, please. Don't remind me. Because let me just say this. One Christmas in 1983, my heater was not working. My friends had not traveled. No dollar in my pocket. I was hungry, and I went everywhere I went to. I couldn't eat on a Christmas day.
Oh my!
It was very depressing.
Really
I said,
depressing.
I wanted to die, until one Ugandan friend I managed to call one number on credit. I didn't have money to make a call. And then one lawyer quickly came to pick me.
And he became your Santa Claus.
And I think it's very important. Like, one advice I want to give to every young listener out there: people are looking at your profile, they're looking at your timeline.
Yeah.
You know, it is interesting to know that many people who recruit now actually go to your profile to look at the kind of things that you post there.
Yeah.
I do that particularly for my own organization.
Yeah.
You know, because the things people can freely do when they think nobody's really watching out there.
Yes, tells the story, the food.
These are the things that really reveal their true identity.
Yes.
It's becoming a norm. And so every young person also needs to be very
careful.
And whether you think like maybe you are expressing your right as a citizen, ensure those things are true and are right. Because I remember when the social media was agog with that so and so person was dead and all the rest, which were not true. So verify information before you put it up there.
Okay, so a lot said about social media and how the security operatives can get to help us guard the issue of social media identity theft. Just learn to use your social media platforms really wisely. Thank you.
The gang agrees that freedom of speech and having a voice are good things. But we all need to be careful about the kind of information that we share online. Well, that's all that we have for you today. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms displayed right there on your screen. I am Nenna Jemie, and until next time, take care and be well.